welcome to the Circle at Kismet. Today we're going to be doing a reading to find out some details on your future true love, twin flame, soulmate or spouse. Imagine if you were in a relationship where you could envisage your ideal date. Where would it be? Do you see yourself wandering around a cosy antiquarian bookstore? Maybe you visualise yourself walking in nature with the wind in your hair on top of a cliff edge, or walking around an enchanted wood. Maybe a trip to the past via a museum might be your choice. To snuggle up in front of a campfire on a clear night, or even to pop to an ice cream parlour and enjoy the delights of a dessert. But wherever you choose, the cards connected are hopefully going to give us an indication as to the personality of this person, where you may meet, and how your relationship could progress. We also have a channeled letter from the significant other on how they feel about you on this date. If you're new to pick apart readings, if you pause the video, close your eyes, just take a couple of calm deep breaths, and then when you reopen your eyes, just see which option your heart is drawn to. We have 6 options today. Each one obviously has the envelope, and there's a Polaroid snapshot of the date itself. So let's take a closer look at the choices. Option number 1 is the clifftop walk. Option number 2 is the antiquarian bookshop. Option number 3 is the ice cream parlour. Option number 4 is the museum. Option number 5 is the forest walk. And option number 6 is the campfire. This reading is timeless. It won't resonate with everybody, being a collective reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. If you enjoy the readings, please consider subscribing, liking and sharing, as it really helps the channel grow and allows us to explore new and different ideas in the future. Timestamps will be in the description box below, and I'll see you in the reading. If you pick the clifftop walk, here's your reading. These are the cards for those of you who picked the clifftop walk, and we're going to start with the channeled letter from your potential future suitor on how they feel about you on this date. So they say, as we sit on the gnarled rocks at the edge of the cliff, high with the seabirds taking flight around us, and with the mighty waves crashing with gusto below, I ponder the peace of the sky, and so close to the fierce rage of the ocean. It's strange how much contrast meet in life and nature. As clouds float softly by, I glance to you. You look content, lost in your thoughts. The natural light highlights your face, your skin shimmers as you shield your eyes from the glare of the sun. I couldn't think of a better place to be, or anyone I'd rather be in this stunning location with, on such a beautiful day. As we look across the horizon, I picture us in the future. The vast open sea ahead reminds me of the immense possibilities open to us, the potential for wonderful things to explore and experience that now we are together. Possibly, most important of all, I feel anything is possible now you are in my life. A bird squawks, bringing my thoughts back to the here and now. As we prepare to continue our clifftop walk, I know that each stride we take, side by side, is a small step on the path of our amazing future together. So that's a lovely way to start the reading. And when we move on to the cards, I've picked 2 cards out for you. So we've got Shilia, she who creates, creativity, originality, spontaneity. And we've got the card of the squirrel, always being prepared. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distractions take you off course. Make a plan for the future and life will give you all you need. So the cards depict a person who enjoys creating. It could be cooking or crafting, making videos, sewing, singing, music, something that you're not only very good at, but something where you create something from nothing and it really is immensely beautiful. You worry about the future and what lies ahead. You also try and plan for things, but also take into account that life can often throw the odd curveball in your way and disrupt your plans. You've got boundless energy when you're on the right path. You do seem to struggle sometimes if you lack direction, but when you find your feet, you know exactly where you're going and how to get there. You don't let a lot of things get you down, but if they do, you try your utmost not to show it or to share with others. You're often the listening ear that your friends come to for advice, and they often find your sunny persona something that uplifts and pleases them. So your potential suitors personality cards, we have She Who Persists, Jocelyn, prospective, defiant, persistent. We have Estefania, She Who Surrenders, chains, bondage and release. And we have the animal card of the ram, which is perseverance. You have many gifts. No problem can withstand the power of your mind. With patience you can reach your mountaintop. Never give up and good luck will follow. And I think that's quite apt that you've got the mountaintop there and you're obviously on a cliff top walk, so that obviously relates. These cards show this person is a force to be reckoned with. If they strive for something, they do it with 100% fully committed. That may not just be their own plans, that can be their families, their friends and even yours. They will do whatever they can to bring things to fruition that will make people happy. This, however, can lead to some crushing defeats if things don't go their way, because their personality is really geared for getting results. They can be accused of being stubborn and blinkered and sometimes a workaholic, but they put this towards the fact of they feel hard work reaps rewards and they learn from experience. If things don't work out, then that's the way they learn rather than being told. They can find it a little bit difficult to understand that the universe has better things planned for them, and when things do go wrong and fall by the wayside, it can take them a little bit of time to get their heads around the next thing they should focus on, because obviously then they fear failure. Whatever they go into though, they have plenty of opportunities open to them, apply themselves as much as possible, and will see results in everything they do one way or another, be it a lesson learned or be it something that's actually attained. The next cards are places you may potentially meet, and I'm going to give you the numbers of these. We've got 41, we've got 22, and we've got number 9. I've given you the numbers because sometimes numerology can play quite a part in how you're going to meet as well. Dates, door numbers, bus numbers. So some suggestions as to potential places that you will meet your significant other. Places like cinema, theatre, galleries, places where there's maybe street performers, a circus, or where you can see skilled artists perform, or where you can see pieces of work on display. Also there's an essence almost of a garden centre or somewhere where flowers are the main part of the display. Places where they have large windows and mirrors can also have potential. And venues or occasions where you're either playing another part, wearing a costume or a mask, or you're playing a different persona, you're pretending to be somebody else. A few of you will meet your potential person surrounded by candlelight, and there's at least one of you that's going to meet your potential partner playing a game that you wish you hadn't have started. So the next batch of cards we've got are any obstacles that you're going to come across. So we have number 32, quieting the mind. We have number 7, take a deep breath. And we have number 36, seeing beyond. This may seem like a whirlwind when it arrives, but don't lose sense of yourself in the midst of the moment. These cards are all connected. Quiet the mind, take a deep breath, and seeing beyond are all about being present in the moment and focusing ahead, but doing it slowly. You're being supported in the most wonderful way but you need to trust this is around you. The next batch of cards is how the relationship can pan out, and we have the Devil, the Lovers, the Fool, the Magician, and the Eight of Wands. There is a huge energy pull bringing you together, but equally there are a lot of things surrounding you both that are taking your attention from one another. There may be ex-partners who remain as friends and who may get in the way, or there could be a hint of jealousy, even when one of you does something that the other wishes to participate in, and they feel they are being left behind. You need to find a balance with each other and get a good understanding of how you feel and your deepest wishes relate to their goals. It's hard to contain excitement when you've won the lottery or hit the jackpot and when you're at the height of happiness, but this is how they're actually going to feel when they meet you. They're instantly going to be attracted to you. You're definitely going to spark their interest from the first moment. And I think they see you as very well-rounded, in the sense that you come as a whole package. You spark their interest. You're very knowledgeable. I think that they look up to you in certain respects, but feel they can help you in others. And I think that's a really nice balance to have. They admire you, but they also want to help you and guide you. So it's a really nice combination. The next two cards you've got are what you'll learn. And you have Happiness and Spiritual Masters. This is not only an opportunity to explore what makes you truly happy, but this is also a spiritual journey like no other. You'll be learning to trust, how to gain peace in your heart, your ability to connect to another on a completely different level, and also a special bond with the universe, all through this relationship. The penultimate cards are about timing, which I think we also need to take into account the numbers of. So we've got card number 7, which is Libra, and enjoy your time, 7 weeks, 7 months. And then we have card number 6, which again says enjoy time, 6 days, 6 weeks. So first of all, Libra season, the end of September, beginning of October. Obviously the numbers 6 and 7, which are there. It could be dates in the month. It could be the amount of days, weeks or months. It can also mean that you're in a confusing state, as in you're at 6s and 7s when you meet them. You're not quite sure what to do. So it may be when there's a lot going on in your life, and when they arrive, it could actually make you feel quite overwhelmed. And then finally, I just wanted to end on a couple of messages, these beautiful cards. We have 2, and the first one is transformation. Your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. And then the other card is this one, which says, my beloved, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united, for love transcends space and time. Nothing is missing. So I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you did, give us a like, share, or consider subscribing. And hopefully I'll see you in the next reading. If you pick the bookshop, here's your reading. For those of you who pick the bookshop, here are your cards. And we're going to start with the letter from your potential suitor. So this is going to be about their feelings on this date with you, what's going through their minds. So we've got, as I wander through the bookshop, looking at all the pre-loved weathered covers, scuffed corners and faded gilding, standing so uniformly, straight and soldier-like, each having had someone's attention, they have provided a story, information, or have documented a fountain of knowledge. The contents depict someone's heart and soul, their story, an invention or creation they have wanted to share with the world. Each of these books holds a tale of sorts within them, and another as to why they were released. I see you perusing the shelves, stroking the spines, your eyes fixated on the titles until you feel my stare. You turn, and your beauty is truly captivating. In that moment, I know we are supposed to be together, and your expression is one of knowing what I am thinking. You nod in an unspoken agreement of minds. I think about how our lives have twisted and turned to bring us to this point, and wonder what stories we will have to share in the future. I can feel that our happily ever after has moved so tantalisingly close, and I can't wait to create our first chapter together. So that's a lovely way to start the reading. So on to the cards. The first couple of cards relate to your personality, and you have Visualise, she who flies, dare, do, reach. And you have Peacock, vibrancy, you were born to shine and inspire. Practice humility to avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognise your brilliance. You have a duo of bird-related cards here, which denotes you have the ability to strive for your dreams, and they in turn have potential to soar to the greatest of heights. Visualise is a person of great beauty inside and out. She has a huge amount of knowledge, which is denoted by the bird's skull on her head, and she's surrounded by feathers, so she is ready to take flight in an instant if she feels the moment's right to act or react. With the Peacock card, it shows an essence of protection. Whilst many may see outward talents you share and utilise, there is a lot behind the facade that is equally as impressive, but you don't always like to show this for fear of appearing to show off or causing jealousy from some. You have a keen insight and quick reactions, both which you can use to your advantage, and it is not unusual to feel that you have a spiritual connection to a guide or an ancestor who you feel watches over you. The next two cards are the potential personality of your suitor. So we've got Makita, she who sees, observe, perceive and scrutinise. And then we have the card of the raccoon, inventor. Decide on what you really want. You have the ingenuity to claim it, avoid being the trickster and practice integrity. You may have many roles, you can juggle them well. The golden headdress she wears like a crown doubles as a helmet. The person represented by this card speaks their mind and knows their opinion holds good advice, but may not be welcomed by everybody. The woman in the image has learnt to fight her own battles and to pick sides wisely, but never to turn to this final result without exploring every possible other alternative. The card denotes a leader and an organiser. The raccoon is very resourceful. They show dexterity, immense intelligence, and are creative and confident. They are the kind of people that are turned to in times of trouble for their reassurance and support. They may have to adopt various masks for different purposes, each showing a different personality trait and each fitting in with a reason as to why they would show that side of themselves. The danger of this is, are they spreading themselves too thin? And more importantly, how do you find out who the real person is behind the facade? The next batch of cards are to give an idea of potentially where you could meet this person. I'm also going to give you the numbers because numerology can often play a big part in where you meet somebody, dates, house numbers, bus numbers, etc. So we've got number 15. We have number 8 and number 47. There's quite a few possibilities in this combination of how you may meet. One is that you may be involved in some sort of spiritual pursuit, be it online, spiritualist church, a healing group, a sound bath, something like that. You could even meet them in a library or somewhere where you could learn, or obviously in a bookstore, as denoted in the date. There's also indications of an old building with bare brick walls or a very chilling draft. Places like castles, colleges, monasteries, churches are all prominent within the cards. For some of you who love horror, this could lead you to the person. For others, some form of letter or postal arrival will signify the start. Gothic and Victorian themed exhibitions, a gathering to celebrate someone's life or possibly a remembrance or memorial. Also any kind of connection to flowers, garden centres, allotments, parks, gardens, markets. Volunteering to help a good cause, as particularly if it's in the outdoors, is also a potential place to meet. And for one or two of you, you're going to actually have dreamt of this person, and meeting them is actually going to make you question if you've met before in the real world. The next couple of cards is going to be their initial feelings of you. So we have number 39, Wish Upon a Star. And then we've got number 37, the Oracle's Gift. Your initial feelings will be slightly unaligned to theirs, as you will realise the connection a lot sooner than they will. This is a relationship you have wished for a long time. If you have a vision board or have been asking the universe to deliver you a person romantically, this will be the moment you have been waiting for. There may be signs along the way to confirm that you are on the right path, and if you allow and give them time to realise and digest what is happening within this union, then it will be a beautiful start for both of you. The next batch of cards are how the relationship plays out and how it continues. So we have the Ace of Cups, Strength, the Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Ten of Wands. I think this person has something that's stopping them committing themselves fully to this relationship, particularly in the early stages. For some, it could be a high demanding job. It could be a college course where they, desperately want to get their results. It could be family members persuading them that they may be too young, or even an ex where it's not ended happy and they don't want to go headlong into another relationship. So really the advice on how this plays out is, if you take things slowly and a step at a time, strong communication, trust, reassurance, I think they will soon be up to speed with where you are with this relationship, and then they will start seeing the potential and the positives far outweighing the negatives. But to a certain extent, at the beginning, there's a little bit of a delay and a little bit of a difference between how they see this and how you see it. So just be a little bit patient and just be kind to them and see where it goes from there. So the next two cards, we've got Simplicity and Yin Yang Lover. So these cards represent any obstacles in this relationship, and besides the allowing of time that we just mentioned, I think the main thing you have to worry about is this is actually quite a simple relationship. You're overwhelmed by the fact of how easy things can be, and maybe you've been in connections with souls where it's been a struggle to keep things afloat, or ones where you've had to be increasingly accommodating to someone who's selfish. This is completely the other direction. It's completely balanced, and the simplicity can actually make you question if there's hidden issues that you're not seeing. As I said before, you do need to allow some time for you as individuals to become a complete unit. And obviously, I think the other party, to a certain extent, feels that their freedom is being controlled, but you need to just reassure them that that's not the case. And when you actually get onto the same page, things will be easier than anything you've ever experienced before, relationship wise. The next two cards are what you gain from the relationship, and you have Healing and Miracles. This is a lovely combination of cards. This individual will show you that miracles do come true, and that you will receive healing and peace of mind just by being together. You both bring traits to the relationship that offer calm and support to the other, and this has a very positive impact on the relationship as a whole. So the next cards are a little bit about the timing of when you may meet or when things get moving. So we've got Times of Life, you reflect the world reflects you. We've got card number 6, Friday, finalise something, just let go. And card number 7, determining the circumstances, 7 days, 7 weeks. So as with all the cards, the 6 and the 7 vibrate strongly. So that could be the 6th and the 7th of any month. It can be 6 or 7 days, weeks, or even months. This can also be the time between when you meet and when you actually begin to connect. The Friday card obviously means it's a very positive day to meet. It's also ruled by Venus, so it's a fantastic day for putting out what you would like to receive in a potential partner. So if you haven't met yet, that's obviously a good tip too. The Times of Life card is normally a card when major events are going on, not only in your life, but in your local vicinity or worldly events. So when something major's happening, this could be something that rarely happens or is ongoing when you meet, or it could actually be the reason that you connect. Maybe you're helping out with something. So that's also potential too. And when the connection can actually begin and start to take off. So also don't forget June and July being the 6th and 7th months. Again, 6 and 7. And I think one of the other piles had 6 and 7 together. Being at 6s and 7s is being a little bit confused. So maybe this will turn up at a time where you've got a lot going on, or you feel that you're not looking for somebody and they suddenly appear. So yeah, that's also a possibility too. And then lastly, I wanted to pick a couple of love message cards. So we've got this one, which says, criticising one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. And then we have this one just to end on, which is a really pretty card, which says, only time will tell. So I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you did, give us a like, share, and consider subscribing. And I'll see you in the next reading. If you pick the ice cream parlour, here's your reading. These are the cards for those of you who picked the ice cream parlour. We're going to start off first of all with the letter channeling your thoughts of the potential suitor on your date. So let's just see what they say. The ice cream parlour is bedecked in bright colours and cheery decor. The main freezer is host to a kaleidoscope of frozen treats in every colour imaginable. The shelves are heaving with an array of toppings, syrups and finishing touches. You stand perusing the menu, your eyes carefully studying the multicoloured delights before you. Your tongue lightly sweeps your lips in anticipation. You glance up to catch my stare. I am in awe of your beauty and can't help but smile at your look of wonder in such a fun-filled environment. As we are served, your slender fingers wrap themselves tightly around your selection, your lips tinted by the colour of the ice cream break into an innocent smile. It's a grin of contentment, of amusement and pure joy. I am intrigued as to how carefully you made your selection of frozen treat, and in turn I am proud to think of all the people in the world you could have chosen, you chose me to be with. I want to be the one who makes you smile, sprinkles you with kisses, and who is the cherry on top of your already blessed life. That's a lovely way to start the reading. So let's take a look at the cards now. The first two cards represent your personality, and we have Carly, she who frees, liberation, unrestrained and freedom. And we have the Raven, who's a shaman. You are the creator and magician. Use your gifts for good. There is power in your wisdom and words. Connect with the elemental spirits, and glide through the void. Claim your place as keeper of mysteries. Both of these cards show someone who is coming from a place of darkness into the light, as if a weight of the world that was once on your shoulders is now being released. Maybe a phase of heavy responsibility is ended or is coming to a close. Or possibly you've been in a situation where you have felt stifled or not able to decide your next move, or have sought solace in your own company, closing off from the drama of others for your own sanity. Well, now is the time to begin to reconnect. Carly is thrusting away the chains that held her back, and the Raven knows darkness unlike any other, but is a messenger of newly acquired knowledge and wisdom, depicting a new start that's about to begin. You have a playful nature at heart and enjoy the simple things in life. The Raven is connected to the subconscious, so you may have the ability to use telepathy or astral travel or other psychic talents. Your first instincts on people are rarely wrong, but your heart and head do not always follow your gut reaction. The next two cards depict their personality, and we have She Who Aches, Perpetua, Sadness, Solitude, Silent, Withdrawn. And we have the Lizard, Regeneration. As a survivor, you are unparalleled. No matter what happens, you can adapt. Embrace your transformation. Put on your new cloak. You are a master of regeneration. Those represented by these cards indicate someone of resilience, regeneration and transformation. They have been through the process of having to pick themselves up and dust themselves down and to begin a phase all over again. This may have been because of bad decisions, others' actions towards them, or just circumstances, but they have shed their skins over and over, which has left them depleted and means their overview of life has become tainted by negativity. This means they may have withdrawn from people who have caused issue or things that have drawn their attention. They have also thrown away things that have given them little or no gain in their lives and cut away much dead wood. The Lizard is adaptable and enjoys new horizons and adventurous challenges. They definitely need something new to focus on and to put these past phases behind them. They work well in a team and can be full of intriguing information. If they apply themselves, they can do or learn almost anything, but they do lack the confidence to start new phases. The next batch of cards hopefully will give you an idea of how you may potentially meet. I'm going to give you the numbers of these as well, because I think they can actually be quite prominent with bus numbers, door numbers, things that stand out for you. So obviously numerology can play a part as well. So you've got card number 51, number 20, and number 13. So there's quite a few places that there's a wealth of places that you could potentially meet. Obviously, because you've picked the ice cream parlour card, that is the first potential. Also, something to do with accessories. I mean, you could meet in a jeweller's or in a market, at a fashion event or in a clothes shop or somewhere where clothes or fabric is worked upon. You could meet in a place where there is some kind of details on the evolution of man, or something to do with how technology's evolved through time. There's also an option of somewhere where animals are the main talking point or the main event. There's also a possibility that you might meet in the dark, or that you will have a email conversation or internet dating or a telephone conversation, but physically meeting will be the last part of your relationship coming together, you actually meeting physically. For a handful of you, there's going to be an impressive looking or sounding clock nearby. A couple of you will also have some kind of connection to the past. You go back to a place that you've been, that you're quite fond of, and that's where you'll meet them. And for a couple of you, you're actually going to meet because of some kind of comedy, either event or some kind of comical situation that plays out wrong, but brings this person into your life. So a couple of different options there for you. The next two cards are the initial feelings between you. So we've got number 11, Perfect Harmony, and number 43, the Spirit of Gratitude. There'll be a strange yet strong pull between you, but you're not necessarily one to follow your instinct straight away without actually thinking things through properly. There's definitely one particular interest that you've got in common, and this will be the thing that draws you closer. There's a pleasant feeling of an innocent friendship, but there's a deeper well of feelings bubbling beneath that neither of you will really want to discuss until later on in the relationship. So the next batch of cards are how the relationship will play out. We have the Knight of Wands, the Four of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Seven of Wands, Three of Wands, and the Nine of Cups. Because your arrival in each other's lives was a surprise and kind of untimely, I think there's a certain amount of hesitance between moving this from a nice friendship / relationship into something that's more substantial. This is not because of either one of the parties. I think it's just because you had other things going on in your lives when you came into each other's connection. Don't feel too disheartened if you don't feel that someone's fully present, or if their attention's being diverted. It will pass in time, and they'll then start to connect on a deeper level. There may be a distance physically between you both. To bring you closer together, one or other of you may need to move closer and change your living arrangements. This might seem hard, but if you're committed to making this work, it may well be necessary. When this person is committed, they do so passionately and wholeheartedly. Whilst they're slow to advance in the early stages, when they gain momentum, their mind is fully focused, and when you're finally on the same page, this can truly blossom into something amazing. The next cards are any obstacles you may come across, and we have 3 to 1 and the Pearl Threaded. Your heart has wanted this type of connection to come along for so long that you may be accused of trying to do too much at once. You need to allow the other person to pick up pace and not to get swept up in the excitement. Love that's meant to be will last, and you don't need to force it to help find its way. Also, avoid listening to others' opinions and acting on them. By all means, take others' thoughts on board, but they may not have you or your partner's best interests at heart. The next two cards are what you'll gain from the relationship, and we have generosity and money. This union will show you the depths of generosity, and not just in financial terms. This person and those who are around them have kind hearts and selfless actions which may match your own, or may be a different way of thinking to you and to guide you to different realms. Either way, this individual will reassure you kindness exists, and in abundant amounts. The next cards we have are some timing cards. We have 5. You decide for yourself 5 days, 5 weeks. We have the card of Sunday, go inwards, develop a vision. And we have the card Thursday, take a stand, follow your energy. So as the cards say, Thursdays and Sundays are heightened, obviously for meeting people. The numbers 1 and 5 are also positive, so that could be the months of January and May. It can also be 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, etc. That can also be the period between when you meet and when you actually start building the relationship up. Also, periods around the full moon can be very positive for meeting somebody or cementing the union. And last but not least, we have some message cards. We have this one which says, time, you are trying too hard, give it time. So that also connects to some of the messages that we've had in this reading so far. And this one, which is a beautiful card, which says, romance, Cupid's arrow strikes. So that's quite a nice way to end the reading. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Give us a like, a share and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. If you pick the museum, here's your reading. So these are the cards if you chose the option of the museum, and we're going to start off with your channeled letter from your potential suitor, and this is going to have some of their thoughts in regarding this date. The tapestry of life, stitched and woven, combines a whole host of fabrics, colours and textiles. All relate back to people, places and periods in time. The eclectic mix proves a vibrant collection, bringing both good and bad, happy and sad, alongside hope, bravery, loss and love, all sewn carefully and collated through the years. As we walk through the museum, we encounter things that were precious to others in their day, a snapshot of life at a single point in time. You stare wistfully across, and I suddenly realise we are creating our own memories. Your eyes are soft and your smile warm. As you glance over your shoulder, I wonder how we will view this phase in our future together in years to come. I think to the wondrous adventures that lay ahead and how we will enjoy the frivolities, and should there be difficult times, how we will face them together and comfort one another. Your expression shows you know what I am thinking, and you reach out for my hand, squeezing it a little tighter than normal. I look forward to the future, the memories we will make, and most importantly, how the universe will lovingly weave and stitch together our story. It's a lovely way to start the reading. And so next we move on to the cards. So the first two cards are to represent your personality, and you have Amelie, she who questions, curiosity, destiny, search. And you have the Orca Whale, adventure, dare to do things differently, sing your wild song, manifest your travel dreams, attempt the great journey with confidence, be loyal, friends and family are your treasures, be brave, you are more powerful than you know. You're a seeker, someone who likes to know. You enjoy trying to work things out, find out how things work, and to gauge how people think. You are not afraid to question things if they seem wrong or do not fit in. You have an immense empathy and have a really good memory. You have a tendency to grieve for what never passed rather than to look on the brighter side of opportunities that can evolve because you are now free, almost like the whale that's depicted in the image. You work well in a team. You enjoy contributing and receiving admiration for a job well done. You dislike boundaries, as you always like to strive to go further and to test the limits, but in some circumstances this can cause you to be isolated or even resented by those who lack your forethought and drive. The next two cards represent their personality. So we have Valencia, she who stands, resolute, implacable, determined. And you have the Puffin, which is partnership. Accept yourself and your colourful personality. Feel confident about being you. You are a joy bringer. Let your community nourish and protect you. Ask for help. Teamwork will give you the best results. These cards depict someone who has worked hard to be where they are today. They have not only persisted during times of adversity, but have gained knowledge, resourceful traits and sheer determination to gain the position they are in. They are often impeccably dressed for whatever the occasion, yet never stand out from the crowd. They have a fixed sense of what is right and wrong, and may sometimes be labelled as judgmental of those who waver from the distinct divide. They love to laugh, even if they are the butt of the joke. Their sense of humour knows no bounds, and they enjoy telling stories of their lives, their ancestors, or even relaying something they heard in a sandwich queue if they feel it has merit in retelling. These are family-orientated people who are close to their loved ones in the best way they can be. If they do not have relatives close in this way, then their friends often substitute those that they hold dear. The next set of cards is an idea of how you may potentially meet. I'm going to give you the numbers as well, because I think obviously numerology can be quite a positive point in finding somebody. Door numbers, bus numbers, things to look out for, dates, etc. So we've got number 48. We've got number 30. Number 7. And number 44. So obviously you've picked the option of the museum, so this is a potential place where you could meet. Other places include being out in nature and being in the great outdoors in general, connections to animals, and in particular swans, ducks, fish, or anything that resides around ponds, lakes and rivers. There's a few of you that are going to meet near some kind of palatial grand railings or a fancy gate of some kind. Some of you will also find a white feather around the time if you're meeting basically to sort of advise you that something special is coming up and that you're being guided from a force of the universe. There's also some of you that are going to meet at a nighttime event. A few of you also that will be doing something to do with cooking or cocktail preparation. It's something to do with mixing something that will be prominent for you during your meet. Also, a handful of you will meet somewhere near a fire or where something glows. It could be like a firework display, or when there's things that are going on at night. And for one of you, there's going to be a strange meeting in a very spooky setting or at a ghost hunt. So the next two cards are going to be how you feel when you meet each other, so your instant reaction. And you've got number 46, the Uncharted Sea, and you've got number 34, opening to discovery. I think the instant feeling that you're going to have when you meet this person is going to be that you've got this boundless amount of possibilities to explore and where to start, really. The fact that you've got the Uncharted card means there's a lot of things that are new to you here. Maybe this is a different type of person that you might normally go for, or somebody that you maybe have not really encountered in the past and they've come across slightly different, and you felt like you want to give them a chance and see where things go. So everything's very new here, so don't have a closed mind. Be very open in your attitude and your thoughts, and allow them to instigate some of the adventures that you have and pick up on some of their traits, because I think there's a lot that you can learn from them, as well as in reverse they can learn from you. The next batch of cards is how the relationship will pan out. We have the Empress, the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. You have a warm and nurturing nature, and whilst you would help anyone, there are times when this has left you disappointed and drained. At times when things are not going as you wish, you need to let go and allow the universe to take the reins, and just to enjoy the ride, taking in and learning what you need to know by just being a passenger. It's the same in this relationship. Your partner wants to take the pressure off of you and to be the one instigating, travelling, going places, etc. It makes them feel accomplished doing this for you and to make you happy. Be careful not to complain about this, as it can be withdrawn swiftly. If you want to suggest input when they are at the helm, do so gently so as not to upset their ego. The relationship may go from being slow at the start to speeding up at a ridiculous rate with no in between, but this is why it's important to pace yourself and go with the flow and enjoy the adventure. The next couple of cards are the obstacles that you may encounter, and you've got soft and the ancient ones. The expectations of family, ancestors, or those in your close circle may restrict or upset your plans. Do not be too harsh on those who wish the best for you in life, but they don't actually see the path that you want to be on or where you want to be, and they are only viewing your position from their viewpoint. It's not that they oppose how you see things, but they have just not walked in your shoes and therefore have no idea of your full position, where you want to be, or how and where you see yourself being. These cards are what you gain from the relationship. So you have the need for love and you have goal setting. I think the thing you gain from this relationship is you didn't actually realise how much you would have appreciated love or how much you wanted it until it actually arrived, and it arrived in a form that you just plain adore. I think also there's a certain sense of, I wish you'd have turned up earlier in my life, we could have done this together, a lot of time's been wasted, but rather than concentrate on the negativity of how late this has come or how much time's been wasted, you should actually really now be planning where you're going forward and what you want to do together to make up for that lost time. I've pulled some cards for timing as well, and we've got the Aquarius card, give a fresh impetus, 11 weeks, 11 months, and the number 11. We have the number 10, and you will start all over again, 10 days, 10 weeks. And the card Monday, swap ideas, seek advice, with the number 2. Aquarius season is obviously heightened here, which is the end of January to the middle of February. This could indicate for a few of you potentially an Aquarius partner, or it could be a sign that that's a predominant sign in their chart. Also, the numbers 11, 10 and 2 are obviously heightened here. It could be the 2nd, the 10th or the 12th. It could also be February, October, November. Also, it can relate to the amount of weeks, days, months, etc. between when you meet and obviously when things start to become slightly more serious. The day Monday is a good day for meetings. Obviously, it's a new start kind of day, but that is obviously heightened for meetings and bringing a connection into being. And then finally, I picked some love cards out with some messages. We have this one. And the message says, let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. And then the other card is this one, which says, the past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. So I think that's quite a nice way to end the reading. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give us a like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. If you pick the Forest Walk, here's your reading. For those of you that pick the Forest Walk, these are your cards, but we're going to start off with a letter from your potential suitor regarding this date that you've selected and see what their thoughts and feelings are. So this is your envelope with your note in, and it says, the forest is quiet, only the subdued chatter of the birds or the snap of a branch underfoot occasionally breaks the silence. Dog walkers in the distance call their pets, their voices carried away on the light breeze. The sun shines through the canopy of trees, casting shards of light on the ground. The gnarled branches and bark of the tree trunks house a wealth of ancient knowledge. We walk slowly to the forest glade ahead. I glance at you. The late afternoon catches your skin, giving a warm glow. The curvature of your cheekbones and chin shimmer in the natural light. You catch my gaze and I instantly feel the strong connection we share. I have never seen such unique beauty, both inside and out, or such a calling to be drawn to another person as I do with you. As the soft clouds dance slowly across the sky, I realise you are my destiny and our pathway to love has begun. Building step by step, we will soon become one. It's a lovely way to start the reading. So we'll carry on with some cards. These reflect your personality. So we have She Who Surprises, so it's Bryce, Surprise, Discovery and Revelation. And then the other card is the Horse for Freedom. Your heart is pure and free. A greater purpose calls you. You have unlimited reserves of stamina and strength. You follow the winds of change and accomplish your dreams. You can be a complex character to others. Outwardly, you are admired by many and feel you are easily understood as you communicate with others freely and do not hide emotion that needs to be expressed. However, others can view you as one of hidden depths. You tend to watch from afar and observe before making choices. Many positive attributes come into your life by surprise means and when you are least expecting it. This can lead to jealousy from others who feel you lead a gilded life and who feel things fall into place for you with little effort. This is of course not true. You put in hard work, but much of what you receive by way of rewards is delayed or belated in comparison to your efforts. You love exploring new pastures and can know boundless energy when you're on what feels like the correct path. There is nothing like the feeling of wind in your hair to make you feel fully alive. You are the friend, colleague or partner who has the vision and drive. You love nothing more than a project you can immerse yourself in, providing the rewards are realistic and are within your long-term goals. If you feel your life is stagnant, you need to adopt the whole spirit to clear away the cobwebs and rejuvenate your mindset. The next couple of cards represent your potential suitor, and you have she who resists, or does, fearless, justified, resistant. And then you have the hummingbird, which is miracles. You are the joy bringer. You bless the world with positivity and love. Energy soars on your shining wings. Spread the miracle of happiness. They are a strong and passionate being. They have known hardship, being told what to do in their younger years and fitting into what was expected of them. As they have grown older, they have felt their feet, found their voice, and defend what is dear to them relentlessly. They detest those who do not keep their promises or their word. They may have a wide range of people around them, but when you look closely, most are acquaintances, colleagues or friends who are just peripheral. They have a very small trusted circle who they open up to. They have a strong work ethic and feel that whilst delegation is an option, no one can perform the task at hand better than themselves. And whilst they enjoy being at the helm and organising single-handedly, this can lead to exhaustion, or if things go awry and plans fail, they can be hard hit by the backlash, questioning their abilities and finding it difficult to move forward of their future. The next couple of cards are where you can potentially meet, and I'm going to give you the numbers of these because I think numerology can often play a part in meeting people, door numbers, bus numbers, dates, etc. So we've got number 3, number 23, number 11, and number 37. So there's quite an array of places that you can actually meet. It could be somewhere that draws you out into a joint love or hobby that you both have. There are indications of performances, be it a music concert, locally played music, a period theatre, comedy, amateur dramatic, some kind of performance. There's also potential at a gallery, museum, photography exhibition, or somewhere portraits are painted or displayed. There's also a connection to history, and for at least one of you it involves a mannequin or a waxwork model. For another of you it involves a wig. As a group collectively, it could be a reenactment or a place of interest or something from the past that's coming forward. Anything in nature is heightened, discovering the world around you as depicted in your date, a forest walk. Helping out in an animal sanctuary, helping out the law and the police for some reason, even searching for a lost dog. Finally, some form of reunion gathering, a vigil or a protest for a cause close to both your hearts are also places you could potentially meet. So the next 2 cards are the instant feelings that you have when you meet. We've got number 33, ears wide open, and number 14, which is beautiful uncaging. These are quite obvious. When you first meet, your senses will be heightened. You may be listening intently to what each of you has to say, or keenly answering questions, and they're equally as excited about you as well, and this amazing initial connection. You will be drawn to each other just by essence, and then things will evolve as you get to know each other. You'll start understanding each other, and things will then start to blossom. The meeting will make you feel more alive than ever, like a weight has been lifted, and the curtains of your soul that have been closed for so long have finally been thrown open to let the daylight of life shine through. So the next cards are how the relationship pans out. So we have the 9 of Pentacles, the 8 of Pentacles, the Star, the 10 of Swords, and the 4 of Pentacles. You are both independent individuals and do not want to relinquish your control on your lives without good reason. For a relationship to work, it will require balance and compromise. Things you may want in your life may seem more attainable together, but these need to be discussed and agreed as you move forward in a partnership, as opposed to being a self-motivated person only worrying about your own wants and needs. The creative energy between you is unstoppable, and you offer different viewpoints which work fantastically together. This is a perfect partnership, not only in a relationship, but equally to run a business from or to do a collaboration within. You are like yin and yang, dark and light, the moon and the sun, those who fit like clockwork, yet still have some opposing qualities to keep your individuality. The next two cards are any obstacles in the relationship. And we have Spiral Dance of the Goddess and Earth Angel. So the Earth Angel card here advises us not to give too much of ourselves, or for your kindness not to be appreciated. Be aware that spending time helping others is great, but you need to ensure that you're not doing this at the expense of your relationship. The Spiral Dance of the Goddess speaks of going with the flow. As an obstacle, I think you need to decipher what you should follow through on, but especially where you should step away and make a stand or change direction of path. This way you know exactly where you need to be going and how you need to get there without being taken off course by other factors that are coming in. The next two cards are what you will learn from the relationship. And you have role models and meditation. There's an amazing appreciation of each other and your individual qualities. You're going to learn so much from each other. The essence of being at peace with some things that have uneased you previously means you gain a form of acceptance that you've not had before. And this includes allowing others to take the reins. Your mind's been preoccupied in the past, but the realisation that you are on the right path now and you have been blessed allows a certain amount of reassurance. The fact that you are now in a happy place allows you to both meditate physically as well as process the past. I picked some timing cards out for you, and we have Gemini, number 3, search for exchange, 3 weeks, 3 months. We have the card of Tuesday, again the number 3, start being creative, put down a marker. And then we have number 2, it's progressing well now, 2 days, 2 weeks. So obviously there's the potential of a partner being a Gemini, or you may be a Gemini, or they may well have that placement in their star sign chart. Obviously the numbers 2 and 3 are quite important there. It could obviously mean days, weeks, months. It can also be the period of time between when you actually initially meet and when things actually get moving. And also remember the 2nd and 3rd month, February and March time, as well as the 2nd and 3rd of each month, because they seem to be quite important. Tuesday is actually a day when you should be getting motivated. So maybe Tuesdays will take you to a place that you've not been to before, or will get you thinking of a new plan, and this may actually lead to you meeting this person. And then lastly, I picked 2 love messages. This is the first one, and it says, when you pass from this world, you take nothing with you but your soul and the memories you have shared with those you love. And the second one, which I think is quite apt because it's a lady kissing a tree, and obviously the forest walk was your selection. And it says, give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. So I think that's quite a nice way to end the reading. I hope you liked that. If you did, give us a like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. If you pick the campfire, here's your reading. For those of you that pick the campfire, here are your cards. But we're going to go directly to the letter from your potential suitor on how they feel during this date with you. And we'll just see what they have to say. So their note says, the evening sky is adorned with stars. The moon's iridescent beauty shines across the land. Wafts of smoke carrying inviting smells of vegetables and smouldering coals, exciting the taste buds. The sounds of joyous laughter can be heard from a similar direction. In the distance, the glow of a fire pit burns brightly, casting dancing shadows across the ground before us. We wander slowly, soaking up the clear night and the ambience. As we take a seat, I notice the sparkle in your eyes and the warm hues illuminating your smooth skin. I am captivated by your enigmatic smile. As you catch my gaze, for a moment we are the only people in the world. In that one instant, I feel nothing but an immense wave of love. This is what I have wanted, what I have hoped and wished for. They told me it would happen when I least expected it, when I wasn't looking, and they were right. I love you to the moon and back, and from this moment we can begin to build our universe together. It's a beautiful way to start the reading. And so on to the cards. The first two cards that we have represent your personality, and we have She Who Divines, Futura, Future, Choice, Judgment. And we have the card of the Humpback Whale, Singer. Sing healing songs for the world. Your inner navigation always guides you. Nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. Align with your purpose and the power in your soul. You have an abundance of knowledge, not collated necessarily from worldly learning, but much from observing others, and some even from previous life experiences. You have the ability of psychic discovery, although you may not have begun to investigate any form of depth. Your dreams often express your inner feelings, and you can depict hints of the future from them. You love all forms of self-expression and enjoy exploring different means of displaying and conveying this. You are admired by many, but are humble at heart and would never admit the true extent of how much you really mean to people. You may take time to fall in love because you need to be sure, but when you are in that blissful position, your feelings are as deep as the ocean and your love the expanse of the sky. The next two cards represent their personality. So we have She Who Whispers, Conchia, Secrets, Confessions, Confidant. And then we have the Lynx, Keeper of Secrets. Take time out from the world and be the observer. Nothing can deceive you when you trust your knowing. You see others' secrets and keep them sacred. In silence and solitude, you will find your strength. The person represented by these cards is someone who is not showy or outwardly brash. They are quiet and reserved, choosing to be in the shadows or under the radar. They play a pivotal part in life, but do so out of the spotlight. They like to work alone, often knowing that they are the best person for the job and undertaking it alone. This can lead to isolation or the pressure of all the work and only them tackling it, causing health issues. They need to step back and do less. They never get enough sleep. They observe situations, gather information, and this enables them to make informed decisions. They are often the person who knows the most, yet says the least. Their instincts are often correct because they know what people are like and how they react. Their forethought and lack of self often makes them take a back seat to helping others. Whilst it benefits those around them, they hardly ever get a chance to do what they wish to do without being at the back of the queue. The next cards are how you may potentially meet, and I'm going to give you the numbers of these as well because I think numerology can play a part in how you meet people with things like door numbers, phone numbers, bus numbers, dates, etc. So we have number 32, number 19, number 21, and number 31. So possible places to meet. Obviously you've picked the campfire, and that appears to be on a beach, so I think that may be relative for some of you. Other possible places to meet. These were literally just coming in random, with no rhyme or reason, so I was just writing them down as they came in. Places like banks, galleries, where jukeboxes play, or music in general, in grand buildings with huge weighty chandeliers. Also for some of you, in places where there's dolls or toys. There's also some kind of connection between where fruit grows or where you can pick your own. Again, grand buildings like stately homes, castles, somewhere with a real sort of gothic feel. Also places where there's works of art or religious scripture or biblical stories and themes. There's at least one of you that will meet in a still life class. There's also someone that's going to win a prize, and they're going to meet somebody just after they've won it. There's also potential that there's also potential for some reason about safety, maybe a lifeboat instruction, or maybe you're going to witness somebody being rescued and you're going to be at the same place at the same time. Something in relation to that. And finally, something to do with superstitions. Maybe it's something you don't do, maybe it's something you do, maybe it's something you feel uneasy about when it happens, but something to do with superstitions for at least one of you. So the next cards are about your feelings for each other when you meet, so your instant feelings. We have number 31, Call of the Muse, and number 27, A Grand Symphony. I think at the time you meet, you're both going to feel quite depleted. Maybe you're going to feel a little bit like life's been taking a lot and leaving you drained. But you're going to be on an equal par, because this is going to be something that's going to turn up and it's just going to really rejuvenate and relift both of you together. The fact you've got Grand Symphony means it's obviously something major for both of you. I think it's going to make you both rethink, your plans for the future. I think you've both got quite specific ideas of what you want to do. And I think now you're together, I think you're going to think, oh wow, and you're going to start moulding where you want to be more into each other's direction. The next cards are how the relationship's going to pan out. So we have the Page of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, the Hangman, the Sun, and the Page of Pentacles. There may be an opportunity of a holiday or a getaway early on in the relationship, even to stay with family, but this may cause a difference of opinion. Don't let it cause a rift, just accept you don't agree and pick up when it passes. There are times when you are fiercely close and others when you seem to drift apart, but this is because you are very similar in some respects, but complete opposites in other areas. It's all about working to your strengths and bridging the gaps where you may be lacking as a couple. This relationship has the potential to take you to the highest highs, but you'll have to work at it to find a balance in the areas that need the extra boost. The next two cards you have are any obstacles that you'll get. And this is Drop Into Your Heart and Seed of Your Heart. I think this is a similar message to how the relationship's going to pan out. It's basically saying that you've both got amazing potential, but you do need to spend time learning about your differences and how you approach things and the ways that you feel cause conflict. I think the fact that you've got two cards about heart, I think you do take things to heart quite easily, and if you analyse things, not everything's a slight. People have different reasons for saying things and doing things, and I think if you can get to the bottom of that, it's not a personal thing, it's their releasing the fact that they were single and now they're with you, and it's just maybe happening a little bit slower than you would have liked. By not working on this imbalance though, and not investing time in it, it can just last longer, and that's not really something that you want. So it's just something you've got to pay attention to, and something that you might just need to listen and take a bit of a step back rather than instant reaction on. The next cards are what you're going to learn from the relationship, and they are relationships, meaning in life, and a healthy society. This relationship has a wealth of lessons, and each one that both of you learn, you're evolving as a person, and this is happening actually quite quickly. As we've said before, you are opposites in many ways, but you are very similar in other ways, and I think it's about adopting and learning other people's viewpoints. You don't necessarily have to agree with them, but if you know they're there and you know how people's minds work, you can at least view things from their point of view. I think that's what it's teaching you, sort of all walks of life and all different thoughts, and how that links to make an all-rounded society, basically. I asked for some date cards, and we got number 12, it's going well now, 12 days, 12 weeks. Number 8, everything is in progress, 8 days, 8 weeks. And number 6, the Virgo card, harvest the crop, 6 weeks, 6 months. So, first of all, Virgo season may be prominent to meet somebody, which is obviously sort of end of August, September time, sort of late summer, I suppose. You could also be a Virgo, they may be a Virgo, or you may have a Virgo placement in one of your charts. The numbers 8, 12 and 6, they're all even numbers, so whether that means something to you, that could obviously be relative. But the 6th, the 8th and the 12th months, so June, August, December, and the 6th, 8th and 12th of every month may be a time when you can meet somebody. Also the period of, on each of the cards it says weeks and months, 6 and 8 and 12. That can also be the time between when you meet somebody and when things start getting serious. It could also mean the amount of time between now and when you will come across that person. But yeah, so it gives you a varied idea of a few pointers there. And then last but not least, I picked a couple of message cards. So we have this one, and it says, emotions are natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. And the other card is this pretty one, which says, deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. So I think that's quite a nice way to close the reading. Anyway, I hope you liked that. If you did, give us a thumbs up, share and consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.